Okay, so I want to give y'all some updates on the projects that I had going on. And I have actually added projects to the list. Hello everyone, welcome to Creatively Crafty Me. I am Charlena, and today I just want to give y'all a quick update on all the projects that I have going on. I made a video showing y'all all the projects that I wanted to get complete, and I want to show y'all my update. It's been about a week since I made that last video, and I do feel like I got a lot done. I have been dedicated, really committed to working on these projects. So the first one I'm going to show you is going to be the Granny Square blanket, because it is the only project that I have actually completed since I made that last video. And I didn't have a whole lot to do. I had showed y'all that I wanted to add the red yarn to it, and I did. I just added a couple of rows of the red yarn, and originally I thought I was going to put a shell stitch border, a scallop border on it, but when I did that I really didn't like it, so I took that out and went for something more simple. I decided to just add a crab stitch, like the reverse single crochet border on it, and I just added that all the way around. And this project is actually completely done, because I have added the border, I added the red yarn, I added the border to my blanket, and I've actually weaved in all of the ends. So this project is completely finished. So this project is completely finished. All the ends have been weaved in. The border has been done. I'm going to flip it over just to show y'all what it looks like. And hopefully I can do like a kind of like a reveal, even though it's not a reveal. Y'all have seen the blanket, showing you the entire blanket. But yeah, so I did manage to get this complete, and I'm really happy to have this done. So that's one less project that I have to work on. I had also showed y'all the what do you call them? The loaf cats. I have not put any more work into those loaf cats. I have not even added the tail to the loaf cat. So I don't have that here, because I figure what's the point of showing y'all that again? I've already showed y'all that, and I made zero progress on that. So the next thing I want to show y'all is, I have showed y'all my little dishcloths, and I was saying I wanted to add some Grinch eyes. So I went through several variations of these eyes, but I think I have the eyes the way that I would like for them to be. And yeah, so that's kind of what it's looking like right now. They're pretty big, but I made them smaller and didn't like them smaller. So I made these larger ones, and I haven't actually sewed them on to the cloth yet, so I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to love it, but right now it's looking pretty good to me. I think I'm going to really like how this came out. So I have this set, and with these eyes, I am going to do a little tutorial with the eyes. You have to kind of make one eye one direction, the other eye in another direction, so that it can have, so that the points could be on different sides. So I have that, and what I wanted to add, or when I say I added some projects to this, is I was going through I was going through projects that I had in a basket that were partially finished or things that I know one day I will go back to, and I came across these cloths. Now, I had honestly forgot that I had even crocheted these cloths up, because this was yarn that I got, I want to say, from Mary Maxim, when you kind of just order like a mystery thing of cotton yarn. And the yarn that I received was a couple of skeins of this shade of green yarn, and I did the exact same thing with this. I just took that yarn and crocheted it up into, because it was 100% cotton, so I crocheted it up into these different cloths. So I have 4 square ones and 4 round ones, and they are just like half double crochets and double crochets. And see, I didn't even do anything special. You can literally see where I seamed them together, because I was just working the yarn up, I guess, to maybe get it out my stash, or because I didn't have anything going on at the moment. So I just said, let me crochet these up. I do remember the day that I did these. I was at my mom's house and we were watching movies, and I worked these up, and I never did anything with them. So I have decided that in addition to these 2 cloths, I am going to add Grinch Eyes, or the Grinch word, to these as well. And at her Grinch brunch, maybe she can just give a cloth away, or she could use them as pot holders or hot pads, whatever she want to do with them. But I'm going to either add the Grinch word to these or add the eyes, which means that I do have to come up with smaller eyes, because these eyes would be too big for this cloth. Yeah, so that looks crazy. But anyway, I will say though that I like this yarn a lot better than this yarn. This yarn is thinner than this yarn, but this is probably very absorbent because it's really thick. So she could use these as dishcloths and 1 or 2 of these as like hot pads, you know, something to sit like hot dishes on at her brunch if she has any, or she can literally just give them away. So I am going to make some eyes or put the word Grinch on these as well as this. Also, this yarn, when I purchased it, I thought that it would be a good yarn for this project, but I honestly don't like this yarn. Not for this project. This yarn feels more like a cord than a cotton yarn for dishcloths or anything like that. But I am still going to use this yarn because I'm not going to purchase any other yarn. I'm going to use what I have. But yeah, I don't think that this was the best yarn for this project. I would have maybe preferred like a yarn like this, but I think I would have preferred a yarn that was more of this material than like this cord material. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to work that up and I'm going to get that done. So what else do I have? Oh, and as far as my stash, my scrap yarn project. So this is what I chose to do with the yarn for my scrap yarn project for the Mystery Yarn Challenge 924. With the scrap yarn, I decided, I had said originally that I wanted to make a bag. And so I worked up the bag, just 2 regular granny squares. If you know how to make a granny square, then making this is very simple. I just started with the center and worked my way out. Now, I did decide that I wanted to kind of make it a little cohesive. So I only had a little bit of this burgundy yarn. So I only added that burgundy in the middle. Then I went to a blue, a brown, blue, brown. So I went from the burgundy to a light blue to a brown to a light brown because I wanted it to kind of be a little cohesive. And then I was thinking originally that I was just going to like seam it together around 3 sides and then add a strap. But I was trying to decide what kind of strap I wanted to add. And I knew I did not want like a cord or a couple of chains, you know, a chain, or like a thin strap. I didn't want a thin strap. I wanted a relatively thick strap. So I decided that being that I wanted a thicker strap, what I was going to do was make this panel here, this thin panel, to go around all 3 sides and be part of the strap. So I made this here. So it may be about 250 stitches. And I just made this really long band. And I honestly did not have enough of the navy blue yarn to do much more than this. So I did the navy blue, the burgundy, the dark blue, the brown, and then I repeated that series on this side, the dark blue, the burgundy, and the brown. Now, because I did not want my strap to be super stretchy, I decided to do a row of slip stitches. So the burgundy is not actually crocheted as like a crochet row. It is a slip stitch row going through the whole band because I kind of wanted to prevent too much stretching. So that's the slip stitches on it won't allow it to stretch as much as just the double crochets will, or the single crochets, because these are single crochets. So I have to attach this to the bag, and what I'm thinking I'm going to do is use these loose ends to kind of weave it together, like knot it together, weave it together, and this would be the bottom of the bag. This is going to be on the bottom of the bag, and then I'm going to just attach it to the side. So this will be on the bottom, like so. That will be the bottom of the bag. I'll come up the corners and attach it to the side, and then let the remainder be the strap because I did want it to be crossbody. Now, I hope I measured correctly. We will see when I add this all together if I measured correctly so that it will be long enough to actually be a crossbody. I'm not 100% sure. I'm hoping. If not, then it'll just be a little short. We'll see. Okay, for right now though, I figured I will start working on the handle or the sides, the strap in the sides of the, right, for now I figured I would start working on the straps and the sides, the straps, the side and the bottom of this bag, because this is the entire, the bottom, the straps, and the bottom, the sides, and the straps. So let's hope that this actually works out the way that I'm hoping. So for starters, because it's the bottom of the bag, I'm literally going to knot these together and to knot the same colors together and then weave those in. So let's just do that real quick. Yeah, let's get that done real quick. I'm going to just put the blue with the blue, the burgundy with the burgundy, and because it's the bottom of the bag, I don't think that it's going to matter as much as far as how it looks. If it, okay, firstly, let's make sure we don't have it twisted. That's where we need to start, because I definitely have this twisted. Okay, and I want this to be the inside of the strap where you have the most brown, and where you can see the majority of the burgundy to be the outside of the strap. So now I'm going to untwist all of this and put these together, and then just tie, oh, you know what, I'll weave that in. Just tie the blue to the blue, the burgundy to the burgundy, and then weave it all in. And hopefully this will work out the way I'm thinking that it's going to work out. We're going to see. we're going to see if it works out the way that I'm hoping that it will. And normally I would not tie my work together, but because I want to make sure that it's secure, because this is going to be the bottom of the bag, is why I am deciding to actually tie it to each other and then weave it in. That's really why I am deciding to do this way. Otherwise, I'm not a real fan of tying my projects. But I'm going to do that for now and then weave it in. Okay, it's looking kind of crazy right now. But now I'm just going to weave it all together and hope that this works out the way that I'm hoping that it will. So let me just do that, and then I will come back and show y'all what it's looking like. Okay, so here we go. There's the bottom part of the bag, the front, and then this is on the inside. So it's not super neat, but I don't think it looks, actually I do need to cut down the yarn a little more. But I think it's good enough, being that it will be, this is the inside of the bottom of the bag. So I don't think it looks that bad. And then this is the outside of the bottom of the bag. And nope, that's wrong. This is the inside of the bottom of the bag, and this is the outside of the bottom of the bag. So I am going to put my pieces together, and I'm going to put it together with wrong sides facing, and find the center of this little bag. So this marks the center of the bag here. So you got the corner 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the fifth one. The corner 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the fifth one. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Put it together with the wrong sides facing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the fifth. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's the middle, and once again the middle. And I'm going to just hook it together. I do have a couple of stitch markers just hanging from this because I knew that I was going to need the stitch markers in order to connect it. So I'm just going to take the stitch marker, put it in the middle of the bag there. And this is this part here. Connect it with that stitch marker to that side. And then connect the other side of the little handle, middle part of the bag, to that center part there as well. So there we go. And then I'm going to connect the corners. Okay. So now that I have connected the corners, I'm just going to lay it out flat. And then, now that I connected the center, I'm just going to lay it out flat, the handle and the sides and the bag, and just stitch mark them together the same way I did the center of the bag. All right, so that would be the entire bottom part of the bag. And I'm just going to do this exact same thing for the sides. And then I am literally going to just whip stitch it together all the way around both sides. Okay, so that's what it would look like. I put the little, well, I put clips to hold it together and stitch markers to hold it together. And then you can get an idea of what my bag will look like when it's done. I think it will be so stinking cute. Now, I am just going to whip stitch it together, but I'm going to actually start from what I know is the middle and come up this way and then come back and bring it this way. And same on this side. That way I can actually match the stitches together, so I could go one stitch for one stitch. So if there are, let's just say argument's sake, actually we can see how many there are. This is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So there's 15 stitches on this side. I want to make sure that I whip stitch through 15 stitches on this side. And same over here, 15 stitches here. I want to make sure I whip through 15 stitches here. And I want to match the stitch count this way so that I can make sure that it's evenly spaced out. And yeah, I'm just going to whip stitch it together. Unfortunately, I don't have enough of this navy blue yarn to whip stitch the bag together with. So what I think I'm going to do is just use this blue yarn here. That is part of the bag. It's right here inside the bag. I mean, it's this row of the bag, and then I also have it in the handle. So I'm just going to use this yarn to whip stitch this bag together because I don't have enough of the navy blue yarn, and I still do think that that will be okay. So I'm going to start whip stitching this together, and I will be back. Yeah, I just want to kind of show y'all what I meant when I said I want to start at the middle stitch and make sure that I have the same amount of stitches all the way around. I don't, I was going to do like back loop only, but I don't think that I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to go in and out of each stitch. So I'm going to pick up the stitch there, and then I'm going to pick up the next chain here, and I'm just going to keep going back and forth like so. So I'm going to go to the next stitch and then go into the very next stitch there. And yeah, so I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to go back and forth one for one. It might be a little hard to see because this bag is this yarn is dark, but yeah, so I'm in that stitch. I'm going to go in this stitch here and go there. So I haven't pulled it tight because I kind of want you to be able to see what I mean when I say that I'm going to go one for one. And it's really easy to just pull it tight like so. When you pull the string, it will tighten up. So yeah, I'm just going to go through here, and I'm just going to do that all the way around the bag until I get to the corner up here. So yeah, I'm just going to go back and forth one stitch for one stitch, go through a stitch here, go through the stitch over there, and yeah, and then I'm going to do the same thing for this side of the bag. I'm going to start this way and work my way all the way up, and I'm going to do that for the whole bag. But I unfortunately did not work through all of my scrap yarn. I have this much of the navy blue left in my scrap yarn. I have this much of the light blue, so I still have this much of the browns. I have this much of the burgundy left. This much of the blue, and I did not add any of this yarn to my scrap yarn project. So I still have some yarn to work through before I can say that this was 100% successful. Although I do feel like I did get a nice chunk out of my stash. So what I think I'm going to do now with this scrap yarn is make some headbands, like some ear warmers on the Addy though, because I feel like that will be a quick project to work up, and we'll see how many headbands I get from the Addy. Now, I have also received my mystery yarn for the mystery yarn challenge, and these are the yarns that I received. So I received 4 skeins of yarn. So I have this gray mainstay, this royal blue super saver. I have this, what is this? This big twist yarn in ivy, and then I have this puzzle yarn. So this is a size, it says a weight 5 yarn, but I'm still going to try to use this all in one project. And since I decided to pull out my Addy for this, I have decided that I'm going to try to whip up a couple of hats and a scarf maybe. We'll see how much I can get from these skeins of yarn. But I'm going to throw this yarn on the Addy machine and make a couple of hats. Yeah, so we're going to see how that works out. Okay, so I forgot one more project, and that is my Hexagon Blanket. So I have started working on this. I will add some clips to it. I literally have it folded up in a big bed sheet because I took the time to lay them all out. I took the time to lay all the hexagons out, decide what order I wanted to sew them together with, and actually started sewing them together. So I will include some clips of how I decided to put the blanket together, because right now I have it folded up in this bed sheet because I wanted to keep it in order. Okay, so I divided them into oranges, yellows, reds, pinks, greens, blues, purples, and then primary colors like browns, blacks, and whites. And I guess I will now decide how I'm going to situate them. Okay, so here's what I got. It took me a minute to figure out not even how I wanted the colors to go, but how the blanket was even supposed to go together. I actually made this half hexy too big, so I got to take a few rows of that out, but it's better too big than too small. And I kind of just decided I was going to run like the blues and the greens kind of together. Then I went here with the yellows, the oranges. There was technically really only one red hexy, but that's where I put it. And kind of went into the pinks. I was kind of trying to have some kind of order with the hexies so that it wouldn't just look like a bunch of hexies just kind of mismatched and all thrown together. So there literally was only one purple or anything in a purple shade. I guess I could have really put the purples with the pinks back there, but I think it's fine here. So in this area, I put the browns, the whites, the beige, and I just decided I'm just going to put the purple there. And then I have the final 2 blues there. So I don't think it looks bad. I think it looks pretty good. Honestly, don't know if I'm going to be able to sew all these together. I really don't think I'm going to get them all done tonight. I am going to start though, and I did put it on. So I I had put a bed sheet down on the floor and put all the hexes on top of the bed sheet so that I could maybe just kind of roll the bed sheet up and catch the hexes in the order that I currently have them. If not, I can at least see, because of this video, how I have put them together and go with this. Yeah, so I have maybe 2 rows of the hexes sewed together so far, but that's it. And because it's in that blanket folded up, because it's in that sheet folded up the way it is, I'm going to have to show y'all my progress when I get back to working on it, because I don't want to mess up the order of that blanket. But I did start working on that blanket as well, and I will show y'all a few clips of that in this video. Okay. Yeah, so that is all of the updates I have for the projects that I was working on and all the things that I have decided to add to the list of projects that I have going on. So I will keep y'all updated. Yeah, so that's it for now. That's it for now. Thank you so much for joining me. Do come back, stick around to see what else I have going on. And I will talk to you in the next video. Okay, bye.